Okay, welcome, Jean and Gretchen, to Uncover with Dale. Thank you for joining us today. Gretchen and Jean, we originally talked about how I discovered Jean's article in the Colorado media, but your
Okay.
work extends far beyond that. We'll just kind of get started. How did you guys get involved with to be advocates for the Asian community? Jean, you can start, or Gretchen, either one is
Gretchen, you go ahead and start.
Okay.
fine.
Before I retired, I was the SHIP director for the state of Ohio, and that is the education arm of Medicare for Medicare beneficiaries. I did that
Mhm.
for 17 years. And we not only explained what the benefits were for folks and how it interacted with their other insurances, so a lot of education. But we also help them as advocates when the claim situation, if they received a claim they weren't really sure was adjudicated correctly, we were their advocate there. And that really kind of started my whole advocacy passion for helping older adults.
Okay. Okay. And Jean, you also got involved with that. Um,
Well, yes, Gretchen recruited me.
I
I
did.
know Gretchen from living in Castle Rock, and she
Okay.
asked me if I would like to join Council on Aging, Seniors Council, as a volunteer working on publications. I said yes, I thought I could sure do that. And then my role expanded a little bit to include publicity as a volunteer coordinator. So now I get to write a monthly column for the newspapers, and
Mhm.
it just tickles me. I write about older adult issues. It tickles me because way back when in the day, when I was in high school and college, I studied journalism. I
Oh,
never
okay.
pursued that as a career, but I used my writing classes in my job in higher education. And now, 50 years later, the circle has been completed,
Yeah.
and I love that type of thing. So I'm very pleased that Gretchen asked me to join this group and that we
Mhm.
work to help older adults in Douglas County. Every older adult, and especially the older adults who may not have a lot of other people to help them or may
Right.
have special needs. I know, Jill,
Yeah.
you're very interested in veterans, and we are too.
Yes. Yes. Veterans and civilians. I mean, of course, so since I'm a veteran, I definitely lean towards veterans more, but just in general, in America and worldwide, the Asian community, being a caregiver for my mom before she passed, the vulnerabilities that they're susceptible to. And I was traveling back and forth to Texas trying to be supportive for her, and I know the challenges that can be involved in Asian, especially if you don't have that community around you. And you
Exactly.
go ahead, Gretchen. Sorry.
Yeah, and in addition to that, here in Douglas County, we're very fortunate. There are a lot of resources, but many
Mhm.
people aren't aware of them. And
Yeah.
so they may be in great need, and we try very hard to connect them with as many resources as they need. So
Hmm.
that's an important piece.
Yeah, definitely. And Jean, I know you also touch on mental health portion of it also in your article. I believe the one I wrote, the one I read, you kind of
I
approach.
I do like to touch on mental health,
Hmm.
and I think the article you read included information about one of our guest speakers, Jason Hopkis, who
Hmm.
is president CEO of NAMI, which is National Alliance for Mental Illness in our Douglas County area.
Mhm.
Which
And
I had the pleasure to interview recently. Sorry,
I
it was
know,
it
I
was
know
so wonderful talking to him.
he is so wonderful. And a lot of people, even health providers, don't know about NAMI. And there's a national NAMI, there's a Colorado NAMI, there's a local NAMI that Jason is in charge of.
Mhm.
And NAMI not only serves people of primarily adults, but also high school students too, but they have a special program for veterans.
Okay,
So there
okay,
are resources out there,
yeah,
and I do like to share the resources because I sort of figure if health providers don't know about NAMI, Maybe
Mhm.
our older adults don't know about NAMI, and at any given time, they may need that resource.
Oh, yes, definitely. I was just speaking to a gentleman at Sprouts. He brought my groceries out to me, and he was an older veteran. And I'm like, "Do you know about these organizations?" He's like, "No, no
Mm.
one's told me anything." I'm like, "Oh my God, here's my card. Come bowling with us." We went bowling Friday. We had Vietnam. There was Vietnam vets there with us. They were in their, disabled, but they were still bowling, and they
Mhm.
had a smile on their face, and just that community, really is so important for mental health and well-being, and I oh,
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
one thing that we knew before COVID hit,
Mhm.
COVID just intensified it, was
Oh,
that
yeah.
social isolation is really
Yes.
detrimental to people of all ages, but
Yeah.
especially our older adults or our retired
Mhm.
military service people.
Right.
And the fact that we believe we can connect people with not only with resources, but also um, a caring organization that
Mhm.
really wants to help them. I just read a statistic recently that it said social isolation accelerates cognitive decline and increases
Yeah.
dementia risk by up to 40%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, whether it's social isolation by choice, because a person,
Mhm.
especially after COVID, was reluctant to go out again and possibly get sick, or because they are homebound or they have a disability. I mean, this is a really hot issue for us to address,
Yes.
and we feel strongly about that.
Yeah, go ahead, Jean.
There are a lot of things that people can do to strengthen their mental health.
Mhm.
Um, I know there's a saying, everybody has mental health. Well, that's true.
Yes.
And we'd like it to be as
It's true.
good as possible.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things people can do to strengthen their mental health.
Mhm.
As Gretchen said, not being isolated is one of those things. So,
Mhm.
Seniors Council of Douglas County, we invite older adults and people who care for older adults and support older adults to an educational meeting every single first Thursday of the month. Every month, there's a different topic. Often, the topics do touch on strengthening mental health in one way or the other. One way that a lot of seniors can strengthen their mental health, or anybody can, is through volunteering. So that's another topic that we very much enjoy promoting. And it doesn't have to be a full time volunteer job, it can be a one and done, right, Gretchen?
Oh, yes, that's right.
It can be something
Yeah.
ongoing. And by volunteering, people make connections. They feel better about themselves. They get
Yeah.
outside themselves. So it's interesting to me, and I've learned by being involved at Gretchen's invitation that there are a lot of things that are connected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if we can get the word out there to people, and for example, a lot of older people that I know, such as myself, we don't necessarily know how to use Uber.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
we know how to use Uber, we can get places.
Yeah. Yep.
When we can get places, we're not isolated. So,
Yeah.
does everybody have to use Uber? No. But to include some information on those type of happenings is very important. And that's where I think the newspaper comes in. The newspapers publicize things for older adults. Older adults read them and they're like, oh, I can go to the library and I'll be trained how to use a computer for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many opportunities that people just aren't aware of. No one to point them in the right direction. But, just to hit again on what you said, Jean, about the isolation and Gretchen and COVID, especially those individuals who lost a lot of people from COVID. Like I lost an aunt, a sister. It
Oh,
was just, and I had OCD tendencies already. So it
Mm.
really
oh,
did a
Dale.
number, yeah, on my mental health.
So sorry to
And
hear that.
thank you. Thank you. I mean, just therapy, prayer, but to get past um, that isolation, it's really taken me a long time. I'm finally pretty much back where I was before, but there was really fear there, and
Mhm.
they had underlying conditions, of course, but it's still, some people's families were hit, some families weren't, but I know a lot of people are still battling that isolation, and it's hard,
Yeah,
very hard.
and because of that, because it touched so many people, either directly or indirectly,
Yeah.
when things got more relaxed after
Hmm.
COVID, there still were a lot of people that were very anxious
Oh yeah.
about going out and perhaps exposing themselves to some kind of illness, whether it be COVID or something else. And
Hmm.
that really has been lingering for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then with the information about long COVID, that kind of reinforces the fear and the anxiety of
Yeah.
getting into large groups, small groups, getting out of the house.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
it's supportive too, because when some of your people show up with masks, I'm sure you're welcoming to them. You want them to come as they are and not feel like they're at risk or anxious. You're seeing
yes,
less and less masks, but there's still veterans, of course, with underlying conditions. They show up at the events, and I just kind of go out of my way to make them feel comfortable because I know how they feel. Just
yeah,
that
yeah.
underlining fear is still there.
And of course, you're probably aware, Dale, that there's a new vet clinic that just opened in Castle Rock.
Yes,
And
yes. My husband's actually gonna be going there. Yeah,
oh, good, good, good,
yeah.
good. I dropped by there to give them some information about the Seniors Council. Our
Oh,
monthly meetings travel
yeah.
throughout the county. We've discovered that folks in Larkspur don't necessarily want to drive to Highlands Ranch, or folks in Highlands Ranch don't necessarily want to go to Parker, or Parker
Mhm,
to Castle Rock. And Douglas County is quite large, so we cover a lot of territory there. Um, but I dropped by and I gave some information to the gal in the front to
mhm.
see if they had a community room, if they'd like to host one of our meetings,
Oh, wow.
so that the veterans can become more acquainted with us as well,
Yeah.
because we would love to be able to have them join us, at meetings or
Oh.
whatever.
Oh, that would be wonderful, and maybe I can, after we talk, I can share some resources with you to share with the veterans, like the free bowling Monday through Friday in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
We go
Mm-hmm.
biking, we go on walks. It's
Mm-hmm.
just there's retreats for married veterans to get away with their spouse and kind of reconnect with their spouse. Everything's paid for. I actually went on one last week in Granby for a week, and
Oh,
it was
no.
just wonderful. Archery, we did archery, we did water rafting, and it's because I have to take care of my mental health too.
Mm-hmm.
I go by myself sometimes, and then I'll go with my husband. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, you really have to do the work individually. And
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that I can't be a good partner in this relationship unless I'm healthy mentally.
There you go.
So yeah.
Are you are
So,
you
Jill,
are
oh,
Oh,
you
go
aware
ahead.
are you aware of horsepower in Castle Rock?
I'm aware of there is a forum out there that I participated with. What is it called? There's a woman, she owns a forum, she works with horses and women. It's like a Christian group. And then there's
Oh,
one in Elizabeth, Colorado with
well,
horses.
this particular organization, Horsepower, is run by
Mhm.
two gentlemen, and
Okay.
they have quite a number of vets that come out and work with
Oh,
the horses.
okay. Oh wow.
It's marvelous to see the connection sometimes between a
Hmm.
person that isn't maybe able to connect with other human beings, but they open up very readily to an animal, be it
Oh
a dog,
yes.
cat, or a
Yeah.
donkey, or a horse.
Yeah.
But Horsepower has a lot of their volunteers are veterans that come out and enjoy working
Mhm.
with the horses.
Oh my goodness, it's so therapeutic,
Yeah.
Gretchen. I did a yoga retreat in Texas. They sent me out there to work with horses, and we learned how to brush the horse, how not
Hmm.
to engage with my eyes, turn your body
Hmm.
side. It's just all of this, and it was so therapeutic. And
Hmm.
just putting my hand on the horse and just brushing it and trying to saddle it. Yes, yeah, that
Yeah,
can be
it's a
therapeutic.
fabulous experience. And if you
Yeah,
whisper a secret into a horse's ear, he or she's not going to share it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Go
Well,
ahead, Jean.
coming up
Sorry.
very soon, we are going to have a monthly meeting program that focuses on goat therapy. And it's
Really?
very much like what you described as horse therapy.
Oh,
And we're very excited about that.
oh,
And
wow.
another thing that popped into my mind when you were talking, Dale, about getting the veterans to have fun, that's
Mhm.
part of what Gretchen and I want to do, and the rest of the Seniors Council leadership team wants to do. In
Yeah.
addition to some serious heavy topics, we want our older adults to have some fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we will tell them about interesting events. In fact, Gretchen, would you talk a little bit about that interesting culinary event that's coming up?
You say
Oh,
culinary? Oh.
Culinary.
culinary, yes. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have the details on that. I'm still
If
researching
you
that
just
with our,
mention, yeah.
yeah. But there is a gentleman, his first name is John. He's head of the Hispanic Restaurant Association,
Okay.
and he's going to be putting on a grilling exhibition in September
Oh,
sometime. We will be promoting it in our First
okay.
Friday update, which is our electronic newsletter that Jean writes,
Okay.
so that people can come and
Oh,
enjoy time
wonderful.
together and
Yeah.
over a good meal. That's always
Yeah.
important.
Mhm.
Uh, so, yeah, there's lots going on. I mean, we have over 65,000 people 60 and older living in Douglas County.
Wow.
And people are
That is
shocked
a
to keep
large.
that's a
Yeah.
large portion of our
Yeah.
population, and that
Yeah.
number is growing each
Yeah.
year. And so we like to connect people, in different ways. As Jean
Mhm.
was saying, uh, we have an educational presentation each month on a variety of topics. We've had Dr. Bailey from the University of Colorado talk about aging in space. We've had
Hmm.
Dr. Mahor bring his companion robot, Ryan, to a meeting so people can interact with technology and not be
Yeah.
afraid of it.
Oh, I
Uh,
love it. Oh, wow.
we've had a speaker on starting a business later in life.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for people as we age to almost not quite reinvent ourselves, but
Mhm.
to transfer into, well, what do I want to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
What really is exciting to me? Do I want to turn a hobby into a business? Do I want
Mhm.
to start a hobby? Do I want to learn a language? Or, my mother in her late 80s before she passed, she started going to a watercolor class.
Oh, wow.
And she
Yeah.
actually had some talent to her. And my sister and I looked at each other. Our mother had never gone into, painting or art
Mhm.
in any type. And we thought, oh my gosh, I wish she would have done this sooner.
I know. I know. Go
So,
ahead, Jean. Oh, Jean's like,
yeah,
raising her hand.
I wanted to add something.
I love that, and I'm gonna add too. Go ahead.
Seniors Council is a group of volunteers,
mhm,
and we are supported by Douglas County Community Services. Without Douglas County Community Services, we would not be as effective. And Douglas County Community Services is all about older adults.
Mhm.
Another group that is fantastic for us to work with is Douglas County Libraries. Boy,
mhm.
you talk about a group that offers fun. There are so many fun events, interesting events, free events, low cost events that are promoted by Douglas County Libraries. So it is so important to me and Gretchen to let older adults know about these resources. They're
Yeah.
out there for the taking.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. They are. And just to piggyback on what you were saying, Gretchen, it's never too late to
Mhm.
try anything. And you know, I talk about my story all the time because I know our stories can always help somebody else. But with my mom battling the mental illness she did most of her life, there was, I wasn't exposed to a lot of opportunities like fencing and archery, and here I am, in my 50s now, and I find out I'm good at fencing. I found out I'm good at archery, but
Mm,
it's like, okay, I could become bitter and think, okay, I probably could have competed, and I still probably can. But the thing is, I didn't have these opportunities growing up, but it's never too late to discover these new skills. It's
mhm,
never too late. I mean,
mhm,
yeah, go ahead, Jean. Yeah, it's just,
We have a very fun and educational event that Gretchen is, I'm just going to say she's the leader of it.
okay.
Gretchen, would you say a few words about Vintage and Vibrant 2025?
absolutely. Yes. One of the major focuses that we have at Seniors Council is lifelong learning, and that's why we have a presentation at each of our meetings. In 2018, a natural expansion of that was born, and that was Vintage and Vibrant. That's a day-long educational event that we have somewhere here in the county. And what we do is we recruit 2 keynote speakers, 9 breakout session speakers. We have 3 interactive activities that are optional for the attendees to participate in. We have breakfast for them, we have lunch for them, and at the end of the day, there are some door prizes. And so it's a full day of learning and fun and connection. I mean, part
Yeah.
of it is sitting with other older adults in a learning environment, in a fun environment. We've had
Mhm.
some very fascinating topics. We had Dr. Bruns talk about smart tattoos. When I'm
Okay.
talking to people, I say to them, I bet you didn't know tattoos could be smart. But his
Mhm.
passion is preventing skin cancer. And of
Mm.
course, we're 1 mile closer to the sun. And as you get older, you're at higher risk. And
Yeah.
so he has developed an invisible tattoo that any good scientist does. And he did. He tried it on himself. And so it's invisible on his forearm until the UV rays level gets to be in the danger zone. And then it
Okay.
becomes visible. And then that's the sign, either reapply your sunscreen or get the heck
Oh,
out of the sun.
yeah.
So we've had Matt Vogel from Anschutz talk about using virtual reality headsets in his mental health
Mhm.
treatment for folks. And he actually brought some staff and some headsets for people to actually experience. If you're not a gamer and it's not just for games,
Yeah.
I certainly hadn't had an experience like that before. So it's those kinds of things that we like to bring to our older adults. So this year, our Vintage and Vibrant 2025 is going to be Wednesday, September 17th from 8 in the morning to 2:45 at the new Highlands Ranch Senior Center in
Okay.
Highlands Ranch. And so we're working on inviting speakers to submit a proposal for our consideration on a variety of topics. And we are excited to be able to bring this day long educational and fun experience to our older adults this year.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. It sounds like you're basically mirroring what the veteran organizations are doing.
Mm-hmm,
They're treating PTSD with the virtual reality, the VR.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just amazing, and it's opening people up. I'm sure that they would love to collaborate with you. The list that I'm gonna send you over, and
Okay.
they'll probably come out with a pop up tent. Tell, hey, you guys, all these free opportunities for you. There's even a skydiving. This guy taking veterans skydiving here in Colorado. So
Wow.
there's
That's fabulous.
so many opportunities. I mean, the
Wow.
ski the ski clinics. There's some of those vets they're 70 years old and they're ski instructors.
Wow.
I mean, just amazing shape, and they're helping veterans to learn how to ski on adaptive ski equipment,
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
ski bikes and everything. So, but I'm sure that they would love to collaborate with you
Oh,
guys.
well, definitely, when you send me that information, we'll reach out to them,
Yeah,
see what we can do.
yeah. But it's just wonderful to see what you guys, what all you're experimenting with, and the library. I keep forgetting there's so many opportunities at the library. Not to mention their hidden menu, as they call it, where you can rent telescopes and sewing kits. I had no idea. I'm like, really? You can rent?
Well,
So
yeah, the things like, the library, and we have a fabulous library system here. They're a wonderful partner with us, but the programming there, I mean, when you think about what the library was when we were growing up, and I'm in my late 70s, you had to be quiet. You went to the card catalog, you got your books, and then you left. That was
yeah,
basically
yeah,
it, right?
that was
You go
it.
to the library now, and it is a vibrant center of all
Mhm.
kinds of energy. They've got the story time for the kids. They've got book signings with authors. That all these programs that Jean was making a reference to, and they've opened up their space to people. If you want to have a birthday party at the library, you can
Yeah.
reserve a room for that, or for a presentation. And we try once a quarter to have one of our meetings at one of the libraries, and we kind of take turns which library we're at. So
Yeah.
it's really fabulous to see. Let's just say, gone are the days where you go into a library and it's really quiet,
Mhm.
because I read to 5-year-olds once a week at a STEM childcare, and so
Mhm.
I'm always in there every week picking up books. And there are kids, running around and having fun, and there are interactive displays that they're working with. Um, and so the libraries have evolved into meeting the needs of the community on so many levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One of
Um,
our volunteers on Seniors Council is actually employed by the library. Her name is Tiffany Curtin, and she is in charge of managing adult literacy.
okay.
And part of her program is one on one tutoring, free to someone who wants to improve their English. And another part of her program is called Practice Your English. So people can meet on a Saturday morning and practice their English. And I was involved in that for quite a few years. And it was so heartwarming to see people enter the program. They would be nervous about their English. They would say things like, "Oh, my English isn't very good." And I'd say, "Well, my Spanish is non existent. So you're way ahead of me." And then as time would go on, their confidence and their fluency would increase. And that would lead to not only better interaction, but
Mhm.
jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they're in an environment where they feel non-judgment, there's no judgment going on. Because a lot
Mhm.
of it is intimidation, I'm
Yes.
sure they receive all types of comments, unfortunately, in the US, like, "Oh, I
Mhm.
can't understand you." And a
Mhm.
lot of them maybe give up, but
Sure.
if you can put them in an environment where they feel safe and, with non-judgment, I know that makes a big difference.
And not
Uh,
alone in that challenge, so
yeah.
that other people are struggling with that too, and so
Mhm.
that's a built-in support group.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Jean. Mhm.
I have a question that popped into my mind um, about veterans.
Mhm.
Dale, how could we, as a seniors council, attract more veterans to our group?
So, how do you advertise? Because I was actually looking for a website to add to the conversation today. Because I think wherever you're advertising, you would want to put a military logo up there. Veterans are welcome. We welcome all veterans.
Mm,
Something to catch the eye of a veteran.
mhm.
Okay.
Like, yeah, yeah. That way they'll feel like they're included and a part of
Yeah.
We do have a website that is hosted by Douglas County Community Services, and of course, we
'cause I
all want more veterans.
yeah.
Um, I don't. I think that would be very possible.
Yeah, I think advertising. I was going to pull up a website for you, but this is the only one I was really able to find. But this is the council
Mhm.
website. But anywhere you're going to advertise your events, I would put like a military logo in there somewhere, and just mention veterans are welcome
Mhm. Mhm.
um, to
Thank
your
you.
organization. Yeah, you're welcome. And especially once you start collaborating with the contacts I send over, I'm sure that they'll even advertise your organization on their website as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
That sounds
So,
good, doesn't it, Gretchen?
Yeah.
yeah.
And, I definitely, we can pursue that with the county. That's not a
Mhm.
problem there. And that was part of my reasoning in connecting with the VA clinic here in Castle Rock. If they had a community room where they could host a meeting and
Yeah.
invite all the veterans to come and check us out, make it really,
Mhm.
really super convenient for them. So, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a great idea. So there's no problem with us using a military logo. I wouldn't
Mhm.
know any of the details about, we're not a military organization. Are we allowed to use that?
Oh, yes, yes, yeah. That's yeah, freedom of speech. You can put just like a universal military logo, or you can put them all up there. Coast
Mhm,
Guard, Army.
mhm,
That might be even better. They'll see, oh, Army. Wow, okay. I
mhm,
served in Vietnam. I guess I
mhm,
can go to this.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
to get them to feel comfortable and welcome. That's the
No, well,
biggest.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely take that idea
Yeah.
back to the team and work on that.
Yes, and please feel free to call me anytime, Jean. You both have my number. Any way I can help out
Mhm,
to get the
Thank
word
you.
out and everything. Yeah, because I think Jean, like with Rob's book, Get Unstuck, I'm sure you both have met women and men in their 50s or 60s, even. Oh, I used to do that. I already helped the homeless when I was younger. I'm retired now. And it's
mhm,
like, why stop?
mhm,
Why give up. We Until our time is up, I think we're going to be used in this world. So
mhm.
keep going. But I don't know why some people just stop. And I think they get comfortable and they just want to stay home.
Yeah.
It's
Well, in generations past, I know my parents' generation, the whole idea of retirement was, oh, thank goodness I can retire. I won't work, and I'll travel, or I'll
Mhm.
just relax.
Yeah,
The world has changed,
yeah,
and the needs of people. Well, some people really need to continue to work.
hmm,
Um, Others just want to continue to work because that's where they have their self-image is tied to their work.
right, yeah,
Um, and then others are, I can't wait till I'm retired so I can do what I want to do. And that's not just traveling. Sometimes that is giving back to the community or
hmm,
pursuing a passion they didn't have time to do before.
yeah, yeah,
And so looking for that purpose in life after you've retired, or if, in
hmm,
your later years, you might still even be working, but kind of shifting your idea of what retirement even is,
yeah.
I think is critical in aging successfully.
Yeah. And I really think it's important, Gretchen, to have something in place before you retire. Like my sister's retiring next month from Army chaplain. She's an Army chaplain. She's
Mm.
already got her business plan established. She's turning 60 also. She's like, I'm going to work with at risk juveniles
Mm.
in Las Vegas. And she's already working with the police chief in Las Vegas. She's got books on Amazon about, how she grew up and the challenges with my mom, but she wants to help at risk youth. So
Hmm.
she's not going to stop. She had her business plan already 2 years out.
In place. Yeah.
And yeah, and I think that's important. Do you guys agree with that? Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina.
Another group that Seniors Council works with and appreciates is Aging Resources of Douglas County.
Hmm.
And Gretchen, I'm wondering if you could explain that group a little bit for us.
Yes, that's a nonprofit which was founded, and the CEO there is Carrie Erickson. And it is a place, and it has evolved over the past 5 years as well, but it has different programs to help people. For instance, you can volunteer there, of course.
Mhm.
They have grant money that provides transportation to people. For instance, if they need transportation to a doctor's appointment or the grocery store, things of that nature. They also have a companion program. So maybe a
No.
person is searching for a friend, or, either they're homebound or they're not homebound, but they don't know how to go about um, developing those social connections.
Mhm.
They provide meals to
Okay.
those who need meals. It's a wonderful resource. And more recently, they've added durable medical equipment that can be borrowed. For
Mhm.
instance, if somebody's having a surgery, I am having a surgery and a knee replacement in August, and Carrie's already said to me, "Well, if you need a walker, we have one for you, or
Oh, wow.
you
That's
know, if you'd like to
wonderful.
borrow
Yeah.
something for a while."
Yeah.
They're located here in Castle Rock. We can get you
Okay.
contact information for them, but
Okay.
they are a
Wonderful.
wonderful resource for lots of different programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they publish a resource guide.
Hmm.
Okay.
So people can pick up this resource guide. They can have it in their own home. And then if there's a need, you flip through that resource guide, and their resources are incredible.
Hmm.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Okay.
they vet them. The resources, Carrie just did a presentation to a
Mhm.
group just a few days ago and said, they really research these. It's not like somebody can just buy an ad in there and be included.
Yeah.
They're very diligent about checking it out.
Okay.
She was very clear about, we're not putting anything in our resource guide that I wouldn't recommend to my own parents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people can feel confident and
Mhm.
comfortable in
Okay.
accessing any of those organizations.
Okay. Okay. Now, I did have a question for you both. My mother-in-law is probably going to kill me for using her as an example, but
Yeah.
my mother-in-law in Colorado Springs, she's living in an independent facility by herself. She has two sons and a daughter. However, she still wants to have control of her money and everything. When you see someone struggling with decisions as an older adult and there's no POA in place,
Mm.
you guys see situations like that, and do you work with the families, or do you just try to not get involved too much with that? Or I don't know, like,
We're more of a referral system. We don't
okay,
provide services ourselves, but
okay,
we connect people to
okay,
resources. Yeah.
okay,
And there
okay.
might be, I don't know what's going on in Colorado Springs because they're a whole different world down there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are resources there
Yeah,
similar to what's going on here in Douglas
yeah.
County.
Because it's hard to let go. I understand. It's hard to
Oh,
let go
yeah.
of your independence.
Oh, definitely. I'm not
Yeah.
looking forward to the day when I can't drive.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, scary. Go ahead, Jean.
One of the topic areas that Seniors Council likes to cover is finance.
Mhm.
So, although none of us would be qualified to counsel people on their finances, we do offer programs on finance,
Okay.
and that could be helpful to somebody who's trying to figure out things. One
Mhm.
of the programs that we offer on finance every single year, what would you entitle it, Gretchen? Medicare choices?
Yeah, we call it a Medicare open enrollment
Mhm.
meeting. That's one of our most popular meetings, as a matter of fact. And we usually have it in October just to prepare people, especially people who are new to Medicare, that they're going to be receiving a lot of material in the mail and that options change. And what they have this year might not necessarily be the best choice for them next year, and that there are
Mhm.
resources to help them go through that.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't handle legal services such as a POA or that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. Jean, go ahead.
I just remembered during the past year, we had a program, and the speaker, I think she described herself as a senior advocate, and
Mhm.
she talked about how families will contact her, and she acts as a mediator, trying to help the family and the older adult figure out what sort of financial resources are necessary, medical resources are necessary. So
Yeah,
I found
I
that to
believe
be
that was Kelly O'Connor.
Kelly O'Connor. I
Mhm.
found that to be a very interesting session.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you, Gretchen. I went blank on the name for a second
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, that's
she spoke to the 10 pillars of longevity and planning ahead, and there was a financial piece as part of that.
Okay.
And then we had last year a half-day workshop called the Legacy Workshop, and we had a patient advocate by the name of Barb Lotz, and we also had an attorney, Renette Greer, who talked about planning ahead and the different types of financial decisions a person would want to make. That was a 3-hour workshop, very well attended. We filled all the seats. We wanted 50 people there. It's the first time we had done that. And they had access to an attorney, which is often, they have some basic questions just to get themselves started. And they left with a legacy binder. We provided a binder with handouts. And so we probably will do that again in the future. I don't know exactly when, but there are some resources out there. I know AARP has some of those resources available.
Okay. Go ahead, Jean.
And Dale, you mentioned that maybe your mother-in-law wouldn't be so pleased that you brought it up. I think when she thinks about it, she will be pleased. And just a real quick example, before we started talking today, my husband was telling me that his aunt and her second husband, the aunt is only 18 months older than my husband. So let's say she's 77.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them went into serious decline this week. And absolutely nothing is in place for the adult children. Nothing. And we don't want that.
No, we don't. The family's already grieving, and that's another discussion. I'm glad you brought that up, Jean. Preparing it's like someone said it. A father or mother who hasn't prepared their family for their death has failed.
Yeah.
If you haven't prepared your family for your death, I mean, because it's just, I know, but people don't want to talk about it still. A lot of people, they just wait till it's too late. They think, and then overnight things can change. Go ahead.
Yeah. When we were promoting the Legacy Workshop, what we said was,
I'm so sorry, Jean, too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is a gift for your family.
Mm-hmm.
A very important gift where all your paperwork is together, your wishes are written down. In my particular family, in my case, I don't mind talking about when I'm not going to be here. And I raised the subject with my son.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So I started gathering things in a particular neon green envelope that I had taken care of, and handed it to him. I said, well, these are some things that you're going to need when I'm not here. But there has to be some of those conversations. Sometimes it's the older person who doesn't want to kind of look at their own mortality.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a family member who doesn't want to address it. My neighbors next door are both in their 70s. The wife wants to talk about it and the husband doesn't.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard discussion to have. Yeah.
It is, but it's a reality. We all are on the second half of life, and we don't know. There's more days behind than there are ahead. And, we took the financial piece with Dave Ramsey, and we had we have a love envelope. It's called a love envelope. Everything from living will to investments to passwords. You hear all these horrible stories. The wife is locked out of the computer because the husband didn't share all the passwords. She can't get into the accounts. So all of that just in an envelope. And when that day comes, you just take that envelope out. My husband, if something happens to me, to him, but it's a piece in that. And John McCain, someone was talking about how he was so organized with his death, everything to who he wanted to talk at his funeral and then, not to point the finger, but, a lot of people, like Aretha Franklin, her kids are fighting for her money.
Wow.
So it's sad because yet she had instructions on how she wanted her body to be in different outfits at the funeral, and I think it's just priorities, and not wanting your family to suffer and go through that,
Exactly. They're handling enough with their grief.
Right.
And that's not a good time to make big decisions anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some awful time.
Yeah.
It is. And think about it. If your spouse is still working, have enough life insurance to help cover the house at least. Maybe they can just pay off the house
Mm-hmm.
and, move, God forbid, but if something happens to my husband, I'm not going to stay in this big house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you want to kind of have a plan in place, but it's such an important subject, Jean. I'm glad you talked that up, and I'm sorry to hear about your family
Thank you.
declining like that.
It's a shock.
Yeah, yeah, and you think people would have things in place, but
Nothing.
yeah, yeah. So we got about 15, 16 minutes left. I would love for you guys to share how people can connect with you, and then
Mhm.
share anything on your heart with aging and the community. We've talked about a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah. We
how
should.
can people find you both, and like
Jean, do you
how
want
do
to
they get
start with
connected?
that?
I guess. What's the best way to get connected with you, Jean?
Um, a really good way to get connected with Seniors Council is to go to our website.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Um,
what is that main website? I'm gonna pull it up here
Let's
so I can.
Seniors Council of Douglas
Okay.
County.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Gretchen and I contribute to our website, and it is maintained by Douglas County.
Okay.
Gretchen, I went blank.
Okay. Well,
That's okay. Take your time. Take your
yeah.
time. We're
So the main website is
Seniors okay.
www.douglas.co.us.
It's maintained by Douglas County Community Services.
Right.
So
Okay.
not only can people go on the website, but there's a phone number,
Mhm.
phone number that would connect people to our liaison, Kim Smith,
Yes.
with Douglas
Okay.
County.
And
Not
that's
everybody loves online. So the fact that Douglas County Community Services makes a phone number available is very important.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That would be a starting point.
And
Okay.
I have that phone number. It's 303-663-7681.
Okay. Let me see. I'll probably have to add that after the taping, and I'll get that from you, Gretchen, and
Okay.
so I can add that into the video. But
Yeah.
I'll pull this website up just so they'll know where to go. Age Wise Colorado. Okay.
No. Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. Or is
that's
that the wrong?
That's not,
that's a different organization that has
I'm
linked to
sorry.
us. Yeah.
but they reference us.
Yeah.
Another
Okay.
thing is that
Let me
we
remove
know
that.
that not everyone can come to the monthly Thursday morning meeting, but anyone who's interested can sign up for our first Friday update newsletter.
Mhm.
Okay.
This way, if a person misses a meeting, they can't come to a meeting, they're getting a lot of information
Okay.
from the update that they can plug into at their convenience. So that's what comes to my mind. How
Mhm.
about you, Gretchen? What comes to your
And
mind?
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, Gretchen, real quick. I'm sorry. There's a private chat. If you could plug that website in there, and I'll pull it up before we're done. It's
private chat.
if you it's like a button on the side of the screen here in StreamYard.
On the
You see
right-hand side, Gretchen,
private
Right.
towards the
chat.
bottom of your
Oh,
screen.
yes, I see. Private chat.
Yeah, you can
Chat
just
with
throw the web.
everybody.
That way I
Okay,
can
so yeah, the
throw that up
website.
there.
Yeah, www.douglas.co.us.
Thank you. And then we can. I just want to make sure everybody can see that.
Uh-huh. And then search for Seniors Council.
Thank you.
We also have an email address. Would you like me to put it on here too?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. And
Thank
it
you.
is,
Got it. Okay, I got the
yeah,
box.
DC Senior Life.
That's another thing that is supported by the county.
They give us a lot of support.
Yes.
And then you can find us on Facebook.
Yes.
believe it or not. I don't use it, but other people do.
Okay, I think I got this up here. Let me add this.
Doug Co. Senior Life. I hope I typed correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Douglas Cedar City Engagement. Okay. And
And
I'll
then,
add.
yeah. Did I put the phone number on there? Because it's not showing me everything I put on there.
I see the email.
Okay, the email. So then the
I don't
phone.
see the phone number.
Okay, phone number 303-663
Yeah.
7681. Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And you can hit send because I don't think it or enter.
Hit that arrow. The arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that little arrow there.
There we go.
Perfect. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. I'm rather low
Yeah.
tech, so thanks for guiding me through that.
You, no problem. And you were getting ready to say something, Gretchen. I cut you off. I don't know if you.
Oh, I don't know if I remember what I was going to say, but
Ways to connect.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna give it.
I think those are all the way, the website, the phone number, Facebook, email.
Okay.
And our meeting schedule is on our webpage, and so people can see where we're going to be. Jean mentioned the newsletter, which comes directly to their email address the first Friday of every month, kind of lets you know what's happening. And Jean does a fabulous job of not only promoting our meetings, but other things to do in the county. What else is happening in the county? There are so many things going on, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
That folks can access and consider attending or finding out about. So, yeah.
Yes, yes. I think yes, definitely important to, get this out as much as possible and reach as many people as possible. So okay, we got your website. I'll put up the rest of the information. I guess anything you both want or both of you would like to share that's on your heart as far as, the agent community, just advice to keep moving. Jean, if you want to start, and then Gretchen.
I have
And
something
take your time. There's no rush.
I had something that popped into my mind when you posed that question. And I hope I can express it the way I mean it.
Mhm,
Every older person is different.
mhm.
Every older person has different resources, different problems, different lifestyles.
Yeah.
One thing that I hear older people, such as myself, say sometimes is, well, all I need is my family.
Mhm,
I do not agree with that.
Mhm.
Of course, if you have a family and you're an older person, you cherish your family. But that is not all an older person needs. I think it is best for an older person to love their family, to be involved with their family as much as possible and practical, but also to have a life of their own. Not only is this good for the older person, but it's good for the middle generation. I know my own children, they're very good to me, but they're happy that I have a life of my own. And then another part of that thought, not every older person has a family. And those
Yeah.
older people that don't have a family resource, they don't have to go it alone. They can reach out to groups, they can reach out to neighbors. People, like Gretchen said, don't thrive in isolation. And older people don't have to be isolated.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't. We know the dangers of that. I have an aunt who just retired too early. She's already showing signs of dementia. It is linked, just not
Mhm.
your brain is a muscle. I never thought I would be doing a podcast at 50 years old or making videos. I never knew I was good at digital marketing, making little videos and stuff. And,
Mhm.
you just never know what you're capable of until you push
Exactly.
yourself and try new things. It's
Mhm.
Yes.
it's like it's like a surprise, to give up, you're giving up on who knows what, surprises that are around the corner for you,
Yes.
you know?
And
Yeah.
and in my family, the example I gave you of my mother discovering watercoloring
Mhm.
painting in her late 80s. Who knew,
Mhm.
right? I
Yeah,
mean, she did.
yeah.
She did.
I
And
know.
I have to tell you, she had such a funny sense of humor. She would complain. She said, "Well, I enjoy the watercoloring class, but I'm the oldest one there." And I said, "Well, somebody has to be, and it's you.
Yeah.
And that's good."
Yeah, it is good. I mean, we have vets who have, double amputees, they're double amputees, and some of them are competing in fencing, they're boxing, they're competing in skiing with adaptive skiing. One of them, they're going to the Paralympics, and they
Mm,
just because the opportunity was given to them and these nonprofit organizations put money into their quality of life, a good
mhm,
quality of life for veterans.
mhm.
So I think, America is really just not set up for our Asian community. It's sad. And, I think about the future. I think everyone should, because we're all, getting older, and you're not going to stay, young, I know a lot of people are trying to,
Yeah.
but it's just, you know,
Well,
at the
well,
end of the day,
yeah, I think my closing thought would be that we should honor and respect people of all ages,
yes.
not for what they can't do or what we think they can't do, but for
Mhm.
who they are and what they can do and the
Yeah.
potential that's still there later
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah. I mean, it's never too late. The gentleman who created Walgreens was in his 60s, I think.
Mhm.
So, it's just you just don't know all the talent you have. And,
Exactly.
it's just wonderful. But I just want to thank you both for sharing. If there's anything else you would like to share before we wrap it up, I'm gonna talk to you real quick after the show. I'm gonna play an exit intro. But again, I want to thank you both for being here. Any last thoughts?
Well, thank you
You,
so much for
it's your,
having us.
you're welcome.
We
Yes,
My
really
thank you.
enjoyed
pleasure.
our conversation.
You're welcome.
Thank
My
you so much,
pleasure.
Dale, for what you do.
Oh, thank you. I'm just thankful I can do this, and I think your stories are going to help. This story is going to help a lot of people, just like everyone else I interview, and that's what it's
Thank
about. I want to help the world. You're
There you
welcome.
go.
All righty, I'll be right back with you guys. I'm going to put you backstage. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.